After a nice day just going about an amusement park. Of course, no one can have a bad time. Unless, of course, you're trapped inside a load of mascot costumes because you've still got a part-time job to do. And be a maid. And lose a sense of yourself. But of course, we're all sticking around for more dragon antics and a few other things. So let's get into it. I see they are getting along perfectly fine. Like a bunch of cats staring each other down. This is what they're fighting about. This is just a natural progression of their relationship. Backstory time. Yet personally, I wouldn't mind getting a lot more stories of the dragon world or history of what's been going on. And we've seen, like, glimpses of what we could assume to be, like, a younger version of them. So I think this story should be pretty good. As long as it doesn't descend into nonsense. But if they're stating that they didn't try and kill each other when they first met, and this is what I was talking about, what was the catalyst that drove them to how they are now? Old fantasy-esque type of city. It's vaguely like Middle Eastern. Now, who would be so benevolent as to interact to this degree? I mean, it would really put like miracles and stuff to test, wouldn't it? How does she feel about being revered like this? Is she enjoying it? Hello there. I mean, she's just witnessing what's going on, not actually interfering in any way. Sure. I mean, she's working towards a peace and not having different factions fight each other, but if there are inequalities based on like one city having this priestess, so it hasn't really changed all too much. Passing judgment. Yeah, I see how it is. But considering that how long will this judging last, though? And as long as they're reminiscing and telling stories, they can sit at a restaurant eating nicely. And considering Elmo was doing this to help out the humans to not fight, what was Toru's thinking here? Was it just not really engaging to any degree? That seems about right. After arguing for several decades, of course. And that's the destruction of a city. So then what? It became a... like an ego thing. Anytime that there's a religion, she started to stop conflict and became a centerpiece of conflict itself. And now consider where they are, sitting in a cafe. That was good. I like that. Can't remember what the membrane is called, but the blinking. Well, just carry on and hope things worked out. Because it tasted nice. I do like their dragon designs. Each one is incredibly personalised, isn't it? And they weren't gravely injured. What about the surrounding area? Ever again. They can't even see it themselves. She speaks too much sense. They both have things that they like here. They can't afford to lose. I mean, this is actually how some friendships begin. Or naturally evolve. And after the big fight, not really trying to go back into Priestess changing the world. And no matter how much they fight against it, there is a slight companionship between them. It's how I spend most of my days. That's definitely a wake-up call. Actually, thinking about getting a job now. She'd rather you didn't. It's a dignified role that's far above her. I mean, she said she'd get a job. I don't think that she would put in the same level of effort of learning coding like Elma did. Is she just going to end up working? If you can get paid for doing that, working some like street stall. I might be in a restaurant or something. I mean, she's only being honest with herself. How can you be mad at that? That would be dangerous. So what... Is there anything here that doesn't make you want to burn, pillage, destroy, or devour? She's good at making friends. How that's their hangout, is it? I think she's found a place. I see. Like arcade games and sweets. Pretty good. Quite a good hangout. In some way or another, how would you describe like their relationships being the dragons that they are, all living with Kobayashi? She has too many people relying on her to close up. So she has found her calling, and it's, catching up on the things that she missed out on. Playing with the kids before. How could you turn down that such vigor? It was a joint effort. It's not exactly an insult. I mean, there's always a chance that things will just end up perfect, won't it? I mean, she jumped at the chance when she heard about it, so... How unbefitting of a maid. I wonder what that ASCII art type thing was going to be. How could they ever be firm enemies? She gives in far too easily. Ah. The guy from the opening. Who could they have hired with such a large outfit? At least whoever's been hired wants a job. Adult size. That's what we're telling people. Just walked in, yeah. I mean, there are reasons for her working here, yes. I don't think any of them are... At least go into the back room or something. Yes, his fault. What kind of country would that be? She might need a larger size. I mean, as long as she actually starts doing a good job, is there anything to be too worried about? As long as she doesn't spend too much time playing with the customers rather than working. Seems to be going well for a new job. Direct question. Answering honestly. Okay, that might not be a good thing to ask your customers. Oh, here we go. Workplace accident avoided. I feel like this is going to be a reoccurring gag. I think she feels quite fulfilled with her new job. fair reason. Has she alleviated his worries about her being suspicious? Does it matter? Why is he upset he's not first place after a single day of showing her the ropes? How much do dragons know about various superstitions and the like, and cultural differences of humans? And before Kobayashi came along, how many dreams of the future did Toru have? Although I am slightly worried to see what the reason is to be their current back and forth. They seem so content there. But we had quite a lot in that episode. We had character growth, we had new work, backstories and understanding of histories of characters and their motivations. And a slight, possibly god complex. And despite being, I'd say, relatively sweet kind of slice of life type thing, doesn't stop it, well actually it probably lends to it, falling into the repeated jokes, I guess. There are certain things I feel like in this world, how much of the human history has been influenced by the dragons. Like those of Elmer's actions, or pretty much anyone else who fancies to either help or hinder progress. Some may want to dissuade conflict, others might want to spur it on. It would be cool to see how many ancient warfares were sparked on by draconic influence. Although I do like how Iruru's character has been built up to, play with Kana and just like kids, and decide, you know what? She missed out on years of talking and playing with the kids that she could have. Make up for it now. Get a job where she can see them laugh and smile. Seems perfect. And she gets paid for it. Although that boy seems to have his work cut out for him, teaching her normal social graces and interactions. She might need a rule book on how to interact with customers. In fact, I'd like a rule book on how to interact with people. It would make holding conversations a lot easier. And even though we may fight and try and kill each other once every few years, it doesn't make us any less friends. Is that what we're getting from this? Even if they can't see it themselves, Toru and Elmer, they aren't really that different. In fact, that's probably what causes a lot of their issues. But I do hope you enjoy DragonMaid, and let's be honest, is there much to not really like in all of this? If you want to leave a like and a comment down below, I would appreciate that to no end. Really just seeing each and every one of you come back for each one? Really quite astounding. I know you're here for the anime and not me, so as long as you're enjoying, that's what matters. But if you want to subscribe to the channel, feel free. You'll keep up to date. But for now, get yourself a bit of rest. Stock up on lots of tasty food. See you in the next one. Thanks to my patrons, I don't actually have to go work in a candy store. And honestly, that's probably a good thing. Some stock may go missing. Instead, my efforts get to put into watching anime for you, which at least someone out there enjoys, for some reason. So I need to thank Electric Ant, Arthur, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Shiran, Mecha, Matt, Stinsfire, Girly, Saltytron, Cardboard, Croyville, Dark Shadow 7899, Alvin Garcia Santiago, and everyone else. Because thanks to you supporting me, I get to enjoy watching things like this.